It's like the guy that goes back now that he's this big time person. He's established, he has a house. He goes back and he tries to reconnect with the cheerleader from high school, or the woman that goes back and tries to reunite with the football player that didn't give her the time of day. Right? There's so many movies about this, and I believe that to a degree, movies are based on a number of real life events, and these things probably do happen. But I look back and the women I have found attractive in high school and university are not the women I find attractive now because, as you mentioned, I'm in the present. I know what I want. Back then, not saying this matters to every single woman out there, but I wasn't the man I am today. Meaning that if I were to find someone and I wanted to go on a date with them or take them out to a dinner or an event or a concert or um, some kind of gala or anything like that, I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the means, not only financially, but I'm talking about like me as a person to present myself. Now that I look back on it, I can do all these things. And as you mentioned, you want to be in the present when you're looking for someone, because if you're still looking back on your school, that means inside that no matter how much you've grown or how much you've aged, you are still that 14, 15, 16-year old, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think you make a really good point. It's really important to look at who you are right now and what you can bring in your interests as well. I can say that the people that I like, the boys that I liked and dated when I was in college, I wouldn't have anything in common with right now. And if I had met my husband, my current husband at that time, I wouldn't have given him the time of day. I wasn't ready for him. I had to evolve as a person to develop that which connects to who he is. And I think that's what we need to look at, who the person is now and what do we have in common at what levels we can connect, because we are evolving constantly. And one thing that is also really key is, even if you get together later in life when you're more mature, you still have to be willing to grow together and to allow each other to grow in perhaps separate directions, and accepting that the other person has the freedom to be self-expressed and be who they want, and pursue things that make them happy, and that we're not meant to be joined at the hip 24/7.
You mentioned readiness. Do you feel that we're pushed into the state of readiness, or do you feel that it's more of like a self discovery?
I think a little bit of both. It's different for everyone, but I think we're pushed. I think, and I hear it a lot, especially when I talk to younger people, that they feel this pressure, and especially with social media, we have this idea, this vision, this fear of missing out, that this is the way you're supposed to live your life, and you're supposed to have this hot relationship, and you're supposed to be going on these trips and whatever else, whatever people are doing in your circles. And you have that expectation that that's what you're supposed to be doing with your life, when in reality, it should be self-directed. It should be self-discovery, as you say, and then try to find someone who fits in that mold for that life that you're creating for yourself.
And I will second that. I feel that the presentation that's given to us is at times unrealistic. You have that joke about people make like the Disney fantasy, right? Where, you wake up and this person is just gushing over you. And as you adequately put, both of you are connected at the hip. Where you go, it's to the point where when you go to the washroom, they go to the washroom, right? And I think, as at least in my experience, and I'll use comment on this since you're married. I feel that as you get older, and as you get more experience, it's more about the duty to each other and to yourself in the long term relationship, more so than the fantasy or the dream that we had as a child, where it's 2.5 kids, a white picket fence, a dog named Sparky. It's more so that this is what Sonia is going to bring. This is what Sonia's husband can bring to her. This is what Sonia can bring to her husband. And together, they're going to build this beautiful and this loving and everlasting relationship. Is that something you would agree with?
I agree 100%. I think, especially as we get older, our priorities are different. We are no longer interested in chasing after the trappings. So we can concentrate more on companionship and actually connecting at a deeper level, because we don't have as many distractions as we get older as we did when we were younger. The kids are grown up, they're out of the house, so it's the two of you, and you need to make that connection based on who you are, heart to heart, because you no longer have the same soccer games to go to, and Joey's parents, and things like that. It's about you. And I think that's the beauty of older relationships. And I think we're seeing some of that, and I think it's phenomenal during COVID. And I collect these stories and I share them on my social media, because you see people who have known each other in the past, and they reconnect, but they are mature people who are interested in being together, and that's really the glue at this time in life. And for young people, I say that, you know what, you got the shortcuts, you got the formula, you got it handed to you. Don't wait till you're 90. you know Take that wisdom and run with it.